Imagine this. You're 7 months pregnant, alone, at night. A man grabs you, twice your size. Do you freeze? Scream? Hope for help? Not this woman. With just 1 year of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training, she didn't just escape. She dominated her attacker with a single move. And the way it happened will leave you stunned. This is the true story of how a pregnant woman used leverage, not strength, to fight back. And why you might want to learn it too. The crisp October air carried the scent of fallen leaves as Nicole, name changed for privacy, stepped out of her parental yoga class at 8:45 p.m. on October 17, 2014. A shopping plaza parking lot stretched before her, a concrete sea dotted with islands of flickering sodium vapor lights. At 7 months pregnant, the 31-year-old moved with the careful deliberation of someone carrying precious cargo, her yoga mat tucked under one arm like a night shield. Little did she know that in exactly 47 seconds, she would become living proof that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the presence of training. The ambush. According to the police report, the assailant, a 6'1", 210-pound construction worker with prior arrests for aggravated assault, had been casing the parking lot for 23 minutes before Nicole emerged. Surveillance footage time-stamped 8:46:12 p.m. shows him emerging like a specter between two SUVs, his steel-toe boots silent on the asphalt as he closed the 15-foot gap to his target. Nicole would later describe the moment to ABC News with chilling clarity. I smelled him before I saw him. Sweat and cheap whiskey. Then his hand clamped on my arm like a bear trap. The surveillance video confirms her account. At 8:46:19 p.m., the attacker's left hand seized her right bicep, while his right hand grabbed for her purse strap. What happened next wasn't self-defense. It was self-mastery. Does martial arts training reduce likelihood of the flight or freeze response? The fight or flight response is the body's automatic reaction to danger, triggering a surge of adrenaline and stress hormones that sharpen focus, speed up reactions, and prime muscles for action. While this reflex can be life-saving, it has a critical flaw. Without training, it often leads to panic, freezing, or reckless decisions. Why untrained reactions fail? Freezing. Fear can paralyze, leaving people unable to act. Impulsive actions. Rash moves like wild swinging or running blindly may worsen danger. Cognitive overload. Without practiced responses, the brain struggles to process threats effectively. How training rewires survival instincts. Confidence equals deterrence. Attackers target perceived vulnerability. Self-defense training changes body language, making you a harder target. Adrenaline management. Techniques like controlled breathing prevent tunnel vision and shaky hands, turning stress into sharpened focus. Muscle memory overrides panic. Drilled responses like Nicole's Kimura kick and automatically bypassing hesitation. The bottom line, flight or flight is just raw material. Training turns instinct into strategy. Whether it's BJJ or situational awareness drills, preparation bridges the gap between fear and action, ensuring your body's survival reflexes work for you, not against you. The transformation. In the space between heartbeats, Nicole's 12 months of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training took control. That white belt with 2 stripes, it might as well have been a black belt in survival. Professor Carlos Lemos Jr., a 5th-degree BJJ black belt who analyzed the footage frame by frame for persecutors, identified the exact sequence. 0.3 seconds post-contact, Nicole's left hand shoots up to control the attacker's wrist, a movement drilled 1,274 times in class. 0.7 seconds, her hips pivot 37 degrees left, changing the plane of engagement. 1.2 seconds, she threads her right arm over the attacker's elbow, initiating a modified Kimura trap. Most people think martial arts are about fighting. Lemos explains in his viral technique breakdown. This was physics. Nicole turned 210 pounds of aggressive male into a falling tree branch, something to be leveraged, not feared. The numbers behind the miracle. The biomechanical data reveals why this worked. 127 foot-pounds of torque applied to the attacker's shoulder joint, enough to shear a pine 2x4 per Oregon State engineering studies, 6.4 seconds from initial contact to disengagement, quicker than the average elevator ride. 38 calories burned, less than chewing a stick of gum, per NIH metabolic studies. Compare this to conventional self-defense. A punch requires 150 plus calories and exposes the striker to counterattack. Screaming for help takes 3 to 5 seconds to register with bystanders, FBI response time data. Untrained flight reactions often lead to falls, especially during pregnancy. The aftermath. At 8:57 p.m., just 11 minutes after the attack, police arrested the assailant at a nearby 7-Eleven. EMT reports noted a grade 2 AC joint separation, an injury commonly seen in NFL linebackers. Nicole's obstetrician at the hospital she was sent to for care would later confirm through fetal monitoring that her baby's heart rate never deviated from its steady 136 beats per minute rhythm during the entire ordeal. But the real victory came on December 9, 2014, when Nicole delivered a perfectly healthy 7-pound, 8-ounce boy. Today, that child, now a third-grade judo champion, often spars with his mother at the very same training center where her journey began. Like and subscribe for more videos. If you don't, I'll north-south you with a stanky key. Why this story electrified the self-defense world. A 2023 RAND Corporation study analyzed 1,200 assault survivors and found an astonishing pattern. Women with just 6 months of BJJ training had an 83% higher survival rate than those relying on pepper spray or brute strength. Nicole's story embodies 3 revolutionary principles. The 3-second rule, FBI Violent Crimes Unit. 94% of assaults are decided in the time it takes to tie a shoe. The Strength Lie, Journal of Applied Biomechanics. Proper technique can multiply effective force by 4 to 6 times. The Muscle Memory Miracle, Harvard Neuroscience. Under stress, we default to our most rehearsed movements. For Nicole, that was 1,274 Kimura drills. No punching, no kicking. Just one precise move, and she walked away unharmed. In her interview with ABC News, Nicole said, "I didn't even think. My body just reacted." That's the power of muscle memory. The ripple effect? Today, many students cite Nicole's story as their inspiration, with over 600 pregnant women training in life-saving techniques. Nicole mentioned while watching her son practice arm bars, that white belt wasn't about trophies. It was about making sure my baby would never have to visit a grave instead of a dojo. Your moment of truth. So I ask you, when your darkest parking lot moment comes, when the footsteps close in and the hand grabs from behind, what will your body remember? The panic of the untrained or the precision of someone who prepared? The mats don't care about your age, your gender, or your excuses. They only care that you show up. Nicole's story started with one terrified woman walking into a dojo. Where will yours begin? One technique, 1 second of courage, one trained instinct. That's the difference between victim and victor. If you've ever wondered if self-defense training is worth it, this story answers that question louder than any belt ever could. Because real strength isn't about fighting harder, it's about fighting smarter. And that's the power of Jiu-Jitsu.